أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins and shortcomings and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this time and efforts that all of us are giving as good deed and have mercy on us and forgive us in this world and in the akhirah, inshallah ta'ala. So today, inshallah, we're going to be studying a new chapter, commanding and forbidding. So this is towards the end of the course. Alhamdulillah, we're reaching towards the end of the course, and I apologize again because being Friday, it's been difficult sometimes to manage the office meetings and everything. But inshallah, I think next week also I'll be okay on Friday at the same time. So that we can quickly, go over the chapters and, inshallah, finish. Okay. But obviously, because we started, if you remember, we started probably in March, maybe end of March, I don't remember, something like this, or maybe beginning of April. So, but I'm hoping before Ramadan, we'll be able to finish, inshallah, no problem at all. So before Ramadan, I will be able to finish the whole course, inshallah, and we can also take it like a final exam or something like that. So let's do a quick review, and then we're going to talk about commanding and forbidding. Commanding and forbidding is actually easier than the chapter that we did before. So if you understand the present tense, then commanding and forbidding will not be, it's not a difficult thing, as you'll see, inshallah. Okay. So we have done so much things on fails. We talked about the past tense. We talked about the jumla failure. This is the past tense, and then we talked about the present tense. The present tense are the one that is obviously confusing in the sense because they have ya beginning and ta beginning and a beginning and na beginning, and also sometimes starts with a fatha, sometimes starts with a dhamma. And we don't. There's no rule for that. It depends on the word. Okay. But once you start with any of them, it follows the same chart. Okay. And then we talked about the normal and the light and the lightest. Okay. And I told you that there are few reasons to be the fail, the present tense and a fail mudare to be light. And we have talked about those different version of light and light and lightest. And some of them doesn't even change, like hunna and antunna, they don't change. Okay. Some of them change, and both light and the lightest. Some of them light and lightest are the same. Okay. And this is the biggest chart as you can think of, because one chart has a different version of it. Okay. And then we talked about the harf, the harf that makes it light. Okay. And I said there are other harf as well, but for this, and there are other harfs, but they're a bit advanced because they don't work like very simple way. So that's why I did not mention this in this basic level. For now, if you understand this light and the lightest harf, this is good enough, inshallah. But you will encounter, if you continue to study more, that there are other reasons that fail can become light and lightest. Okay. But those are rare cases. Okay. And there are reasons for that, separate reasons for that. Okay. So we did these four light harf, and also we talked about the lightest harf in lam, lamma, wal, fal, and li. Okay. And we saw their uses in different ayah. Okay. And you can find them in many places in the Quran, many places in the Quran. Okay. And so one of the reasons, the more you go through this course, you should be spending some more time, obviously, to learn this, and also spend some more times with the Quran. Okay. Okay. Maybe you're going to cover less page, maybe half a page, but see on that half a page what you can understand. Okay. And don't always focus on the word meaning. No, that's a different thing. Okay. Word meaning, as you read and read, it will be fine. You will increase your vocabulary. But try to see the grammar, that you understand or not. The grammar, can you see a mudaf and mudaf ilayh? Can you see a harf of jar or a harf of nasab? Can you see a past tense? Can you see a present tense with light and harf? Okay. Can you find the muktada and the khabar and mutalliq bil khabar? Okay. So spend that. So the more you spend time on this course will be solidify in your head in deeper way, the more and more practice you do. Okay. So So we talked about the lightest, and light and the lightest version, and we talked about their usage and the reason that they become light and lightest because of this harf, okay, because of this, and we saw some examples. Okay, now today we're going to talk about commanding and forbidding. Okay, what is commanding and forbidding? So this is another way of a different type of sentence, you can say. Okay, and commanding and forbidding only happens in present way. You cannot command something, or you can request something. So command and requesting is the same thing. Okay, command means that I'm telling you to do something, eat the lunch now. Okay, pray maghrib. Okay, so I'm telling you to do something. Okay, or I can request something, Allah give us rizq. Okay, so same thing. So meaning asking something. It could be in a commanding way, it could be in a requesting way, and it only happens in present tense, because you cannot command something in the past. Okay, you cannot command something in the present, like in the future also, right? You have to say something that I'm telling you to do something. Okay, or I'm telling you not to do something. This all will be in the present tense. Okay, yes, you can say that, for forbidding, you can take the meaning to the future tense. I can say, like, do not eat pork. Okay, or and maybe I can say, no, do not miss your salah. Okay, or I can say never ever miss your salah. Okay, so that sounds like a future, but it still is present tense, because future and present is the same. So basically, the commanding and forbidding happens in the present tense. Okay, that's why these two things comes right after we learned about the present tense. Also, another thing about commanding and forbidding, it only happens with second person. I can't command something who's not here, right? I can't command she should do this. Okay, I can say she should do this, but I cannot command that. Okay, because you can only tell something. The person is a second person, so you're telling something to do. So when Allah tells us to do something, okay, aqimus salah, establish the prayer. So Allah's talking to us, right? Aqimus, all of you should pray. Okay, it's not third person. Okay, it's not. You can't command yourself. Okay, I mean, in a language where you can say, okay, you can talk to yourself. Okay, that's a different thing. But in a normal way, always commanding and forbidding happens in the second person. You, anta, anti, antuma, antuma, antum, anti, antunna. Okay, that's how it happens. Okay, so in this commanding and forbidding, we are worried only about the second person, because it doesn't happen in the third or the first person. You can't command or forbid something to first person or the third person. Okay, so first of all, you cannot command in the past tense. This is why I just say you can command someone isn't here, meaning you version. It is easier to forbid than it is to command. What does it mean? Meaning, grammatically, it is very easy to, when you say something, to know, but then it is to command. Okay, easier. Okay, and we'll see some examples. Okay, we'll see some example how it happens. Okay, now if you see on the right hand side, so these are the second person from the chart that we talk. Okay, tansuru, tansurani, tansuruna, tansurina, ina. Okay, the anti version, tansurani and tansurna. So these are the 6 words we are worried about, and actually it's a 5 word, because tansurani, tansurani is the same, right? The dual is always same. Okay, so this tansur means you help. You help, present tense. Tansurani means both of you help. Tansuruna means all of you help. Okay, and then we have Tansurina is you feminine help. Tansuruna, again, both of you feminine help. Tansurna, all of you feminine help. This is what we know. Okay, now forbidding, to make it forbidding. Okay, meaning to say something don't help. Okay, just put a la in front of and make the fail lightest. Simple as that. So if you put a la in front of that, and this la is not the la for or lahu or la for emphasis. This is a different la. In some Arabic teachers, they say alif lam, okay, or lam alif, something like that. But yeah, whatever, it's a la. Okay, so this la, it is a different names. Okay, so this la, if you put a la in front of them and then make one of these as the lightest version, you already know what is lightest. Okay, so if I want to make tansuru, the first one, to lightest, not light, lightest. Okay, tansur. Okay, because light is tansura and tansur. Tansuruna, sorry, tansurani, which is a dual one. Just take the noon out. That's the light, and the light is the same. Tansura. Okay. And tansuruna, again, the light is the tansuru. Okay. Let's take the noon out. Okay. Tansurina, take the noon out, is tansuri. So if you just put a la before it and make the fail that comes after is lightest, that means it's a forbidding. That means do not help. Okay. For example, if I say la tansur, then I'm telling you, you means a brother. I'm telling a masculine brother, because you, ma anta, right? La tansur, do not help. Do not help. That's what the forbidding. Okay. So I'm telling him not to do something. Okay. For example, La tansura, neither of you help. So I'm telling two people because I just took the noon out. So make it the lightest. La tansura, neither of you help, or both of you do not help. Okay, whatever English way you want to say that, as long as you understand. Okay, so la tansur. Okay, so just I'm not doing anything extra, just bringing the la in front of it and make the fail lightest. And you already know from our last two lessons what is lightest and how the lightest looks from the big chart. Okay, that's why that chart is so important. Okay, so that's what is forbidding about. Okay, for example, la takraba, la takraba. Okay, now can anyone tell me la takraba, which you is here? Is it anta, antuma, antum? Which one is it? Anti, la takraba.
Antuma.
Antuma, yes. So two, dual, yes, very good. How do you know that, brother? How could you identify?
Ba alif.
Ba alif, very good. Yeah, there's alif. So it was the original version. The normal version was la takra buna. Okay, or bunai. La takra bani. Actually, la takra
Bane.
bani. Yeah, okay, bani. It was bani. Okay, but it became la takraba. Okay, so and takraba means, it comes from the word karib. Karib means to go near, to become close to something, coming close to you. Okay, so la takraba means don't go near, both of you, or neither of you go near. Okay, so keep a distance. Okay, or because you have to say the no, so don't both of you go near. Okay, la takraba, la takraba. Okay, so you can see this, and obviously this is the la takraba. Yes, sister Nahid, you have a question? Yeah.
Yes, brother. I want I have a question on this lightest thing. For
Mm-hmm.
example, Tansuruna. When
Mm-hmm.
it's lightest, it will be Tansuru.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds similar to Tansuru, like you have. I mean the
No,
lightest
no, no, but it doesn't have the wa. See, normal tansuru, the singular one, doesn't have the wa. So I know, so the tansuru, the normal version you're saying, it will sound the same if it will sound the same, the lightest of tansuruna, or light of the tansuruna, right? Because you take the noon out, right? But then you still have the wa. Just like you have the alif here, takraba, tansura, you have the alif here, it will have a wa. But that one doesn't have a alif or a wa. Got it? Understand?
yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so la takraba. Okay, and this is from the Quran. Can you guess who is Allah talking to in second person, two of them, and telling them to not go close, do not go near?
Adam and Hawa alayhi salatu
Awa man
wasalam.
hawa salam, ya, la takraba hazihi shajarati. Okay, so don't go close. Hazihi, we talked about hazihi, is haza hazihi, remember? Okay, the ismul ishara. Shajarati. Okay, so Haji Shajarat, this tree. Okay, why is Hazihi? Because Shajarati is a feminine word with a ta marbuta. Okay, so La takraba Hazihi Shajarati. Don't go close. Don't, both of you don't go close to the tree. This tree. Okay. La tasma'u. La tasma'u. So here again, la is obviously for and tasma'u. Okay, you can see the word. This is the word. Now you can say, where is this alif? This alif doesn't matter. It's a writing thing. The end of it. So this was tasma'una. So it's the antum version, the plural version, masculine plural version. But you can see the last alif here. Some of the Arabic calligraphy, or you can Arabic writing, will this alif has no meaning. Okay, just a alif there. Okay, because they think that word doesn't look good by itself, so sometimes they put an alif. But don't it doesn't sound like tasma'u wa. It doesn't sound like it. It has no function. Okay, so la tasma'u means, and sama, sama means what? Anybody know what sama means?
To listen.
Listen, yes. So yeah, do not listen. Okay, so all of you do not listen. Okay, la tasma'u. Okay, um, so la with normal versus la with that. Now, so we said the la, when la comes and then we find the lightest fail, then it's a forbidding. But la is not a harf, so don't make the confusion. So la doesn't make the thing lightest. So remember that la is there to make it forbidding, to bring the meaning to no. And then if we have the lightest after that, then it becomes a forbidding thing. Okay, it's a negative commanding, right? But sometime you will find la and the next fail is normal. It's not lightest. Then it's not forbidding, it's something else. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, so this one, for example, la tansur and lan tansuru. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? And I'll tell you in a second. I'm just going to show you this one. Okay, so first we say that this is the step one, tansuru become lightest and bringing a la, right? So if we see this one, this chart, this is the example of all this thing, all the how we become la and become lightest. Okay, but what I'm trying to say, this is the most important thing: meaning of different forms of present tense with la. So la yansuru, la could be with even with the third person also. So la is not a harf for forbidding only. La means no, and we're going to talk about this kind of la when you talk about jumla nafiya also. Okay, la yansuru. If you find like this, you may be confused. Okay, first of all, it is not, and it's not second person, it's third person, yansuru, right? So what does it mean? Is it a forbidding? Because we know forbidding doesn't happen for third person and first person. Then what is it? Then you translate as it is. La yansuru means he help. La yansuru means he doesn't help. Simple as that. It's a negative jumla failure. Okay, la yansuru. It's not a commanding. It's not a forbidding. Okay, yansuru means he helps. La yansuru means he doesn't help. If you find la yansur, so you find the la, but the yansuru this time is yansur, lightest, then it is a weaker forbidding or indirect forbidding in the third person. It means he should not help. So look at the difference between he does not help and he should not help. He does not help means it's just a normal thing. Like, okay, does he help all the time? No, he doesn't help. Okay, he's got some issue, he doesn't help. Okay, but if you're talking about someone, he should not help. He should not help those people. Those people are not good, he should not help them. Okay, so we are kind of indirectly telling him that he should not done this. He shouldn't have done it. It's like a weaker commanding. In that time, you can see the la still is there, same la, but yan suru become yan sur, the lightest of it. Okay. Now, the third one, la tan suru. So this time la is still there, and we went to the second person this time, but the second person is normal, not lightest. Then it means you do not help. So yan tansuru means you help. La tansuru means you do not help. When we say la tansur, the lightest one, then it is forbidding. Don't help. It is forbidding and it is direct. Okay. So these are the four versions, and please try to understand. It's simple to understand, but you have to check that the la has different function. Okay, depending on what is coming after that. If it is third person, normal, just translate as it is. He help, he doesn't help. If it is third person but lightest, then use the should. He should not help, they should not help, they should not listen, she should not eat, and okay, something like that. Okay, second person before, if it is normal after la, then it means you do not help, you do not help. Okay, normal. Okay, but if it is lighter, then we go to commanding, we go to the forbidding. Okay, so don't help. So we're strongly telling don't help. Okay, so this is actually all about forbidding. Forbidding is very simple, because it's only one rule, that you bring the la and you make it lightest. Okay, but as I said, it's not a harf for making it lightest. Okay, of course la itself is a harf, okay, because it doesn't mean anything by itself, but it doesn't make the thing lightest. Do not confuse with that. Okay, it can followed by normal present tense, which we can see tansuru. It can followed by normal present tense in third person also. We can see the la yansuru. Okay, so these are the different implication of la in terms of negative sentence And when it's second person lightest, then it became the forbidding, the highest form of the forbidding. Okay, so that's all about forbidding. Now we said that forbidding is a bit easier than commanding. Commanding is one or two step extra we have to do. Okay, so that's why it's bit more challenging than forbidding, to command something or to request something. And command doesn't always mean, the word command means that someone senior is telling someone, like the boss is telling someone, or the general is telling, the teacher is telling to. It's not always like that. Commanding means you're telling someone to do something, okay, but it could be in the form of request also. Like when I ask Allah, oh Allah, forgive me, Allah, forgive me. So I'm asking Allah to do something. I'm not commanding Allah, okay, but I'm telling and requesting Allah. But still, the sentence is commanding. Allah, forgive me, okay, or Allah, bless me, okay, Allah, oh Allah, save me from the hellfire, okay, Allah. Okay, so when you say something to Allah, and all the du'as in the Quran, like Rabbana zalamna anfusana, okay, these are all in a form of request, but it is still considered commanding, and the same type of sentence. Okay, so don't just hang on to the word command and think, oh, okay, how can I command Allah? No, it's just a grammatical term. It could be commanding, it could be requesting when you're asking something from someone else. Okay, so let's look at the steps to make something commanding. Okay, and commanding in Arabic is called amr. Okay, use the following process to construct a command. Begin with the fail in the second person. Again, second person present tense, mudare form, and make sure that the pronoun matches with the one being commanded. So whoever you're commanding, if I'm commanding to a brother, singular, then I use anta version. If I'm commanding to three sisters, I have to have the antunna version. Okay, so depending on the match the pronoun. Okay, put the fail in the lightest form. So the fail has to be in the lightest form again. Okay, remove, sorry, and remove the ta, the first letter of the fail. Okay, so you have to remove the ta. And we're going to see some example, it will be clear. Okay, if the new first letter, removing the ta has something other than sukun, then your job is done. Okay, so let's look at the example. If the new first letter removing the ta does not sukun is then impossible to pronounce, following this step must be taken in order to. Okay, so we're going to discuss 4 and 5 with the example. That will be easy. Then you can come back and read this one. Okay, so let's look at the example. Okay, now in fail, as I said before, in the fail, most of the fail are made of 3 letter in Arabic. Most of them. Okay, yes, of course there are other fails which is abnormal fail, you can say, or not very common. They are more than 3 letters, but in general, most of the fail are made of 3 letters. The first letter is called fa letter, okay, in grammar, because first is called fa letter. The second letter is called ain letter, okay, the second letter, okay, and the last letter is called lam letter, okay. So it's fail, fa, ain, and lam is fail. So the first letter is fa letter. Why do you need to know that? You need to know that very soon. You'll see why you need it. Okay. So for example, we had a word called nasara, right? Nasara means he helped in the past tense. So the noon is the fa letter because that's the first letter. Swad is the ain letter, okay, because it's the second letter, okay, and ra is the lam letter in that example, nasara. For example, we just saw, karaba, okay, or karibu, qa, ra, and ba, to come close, okay. So karaba means ka is the fa letter, ra is the ain letter, and ba is the lam letter. For example, the letter, the daraba, okay, darasa means to study. Darasa, da is the first letter, ain is, and swad is the ain letter, and lam. So this is just a naming convention of the fail. Brothers, can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. Thank you.
Mm.
Okay. So if we go to the commanding, so if you can see this one, again those 6 words, okay. So make it lightest first. So we're gonna make all these words lightest. Okay, so these are different present tense. Tu'allimu, tadrusu, tasma'u, tujahiduna. Okay, so these are different fail. Okay, see, all of them begin with ta. Why? Because second person start with ta. We know that. Okay, so ta or tu. Okay, with the fatha. Okay, so if we make them lightest, okay, so if I make tu alimu lightest, what will be the lightest version of tu alimu? Who can tell me?
Tualim.
Tu'allim. Very good. And tadrusu will be tadrus. Okay. Tasma'u will be tasma'. Okay. Tujahiduna. We'll take the noon out. We have tujahidu. Okay. So the first step is to make it lightest. And we did that. We make the everything lightest. Okay. Now the second step is to delete the first letter. So I have to take the ta out. And whatever left, we have to, that is our commanding. So if we take the ta out, the first one become alim. Tadrusu become durus. Tasma'u become sam. Okay, and tujahiduna become jahidu. Okay, now alim is fine. You can read the word alim. Jahidu also you can read the word, but durus and sama you cannot read because the letter starts with a sukun. You can't have anything that starts with a sukun. Okay, you need to so you can't pronounce this Arabic word. Okay, so we are following this step to make a commanding. So we have the normal fail, we make it lightest. Once you make it lightest, because they're all in second person, anta group, right? Anta group, we take the ta out. Once we take the ta out, sometimes we can read that word without the ta. Sometimes we cannot read the word because of the sukun. If you can read the word, then that's your command. So alim means to teach. Okay, so if I tell the brother, teach this, teach your kids. Okay, I'm commanding you, teach your kids. So that's alim. Okay, that's the commanding. Jahidu means to struggle. Okay, or to do jihad. Jahidu. Okay, so struggle. I'm telling all of you, struggle in the path of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Okay, jahidu. Okay, but darasa, okay, means to study. Okay, and sama means to listen. I can say this. Okay, I don't know how to say that. Okay, so to do that, to make them sound properly, we need some help. The help, we need a help from the first letter, and the first letter is alif in the alphabet, right? So we need to bring a alif before the dal and before the words. We have to add an alif. Okay, alif looks like a stick, like a support, right? So you bring a stick, a support, so that we can say the word. Now, if we bring the alif, what haraka the alif should have? Should it have a fatha, kasra, or dhamma? We have three options, right? Is there any rule? Yes, there is a rule. Okay, so bring a alif that would have a u sound or a e sound. So alif, if you bring a alif to help these words, you can't have a sound. It's either a u sound or a e sound. So when it is u, when it is e, that's the question. So we had three options: u, a, and e. Don't worry about the a because there's never a there. Okay, so forget about a. It could be either alif with a dhamma or pesh, as we call them, u sound, or alif with a jer or kasra is a e sound. Now, when it is u or when it is e, if the second last letter, which is the ain letter, second last letter is the ain letter of the main fail. Okay, if that letter has a u, then alif will also have a u. If not, then it's an e. Okay, so for durus, if we follow this example, we have to bring an alif. Now, can you tell me that alif will have a u sound or a e sound for the word durus? U sound. Why? Because the second last letter, which is the ra, has a u sound, so the alif will have a u sound. So what will be the word then? Udrus, udrus, udrus. That will be okay. Same thing for this word sama. Now the second last letter of sama has a fatha, not a. Then it will have a e sound this time, because we said if we have, don't think that okay, second last, whatever the second last letter has, alif will have the same. No, that's not the rule. That's what a lot of people confuse. If the second last letter has a u sound, alif will have u. If not, if the second last letter has a or a e sound, then alif will have a e sound. Okay, so alif only will have a u sound if the second letter is u sound. Otherwise, alif will have always a E sound. So ism or smau will be ismau, ismau. Okay, so let's look at that. Udrus and isma. Okay, so udrus means study, isma means listen, listen what I'm saying. Okay, udrus means study what I'm giving you as a homework. Okay, so just like that. Okay, so this is how you do commanding. So again, this very similar to forbidding, but extra 2 steps. Similar in the sense that we're still dealing with the second person. Okay, all the anta group, and we are making it lightest. But the 2 more extra steps is that we take the ta out. If we take the ta out, then, and if we can read the word after the ta out, then we are happy. Then our job is done. But if we cannot read the word because the word has a sukun, then we have to bring alif. And alif may have a u sound or a e sound depending on the sound of the second last letter. If the second last letter has a u sound, then also alif will have a u sound. If not, alif will have a e sound. It never have a sound at all. Okay, is that clear? For example, if we do this one, tadribuna. Okay, daraba, tadribuna means, okay, daraba means to strike something. Okay, or to look for something also. It has different meanings. Okay, or to hit something. Okay, tadribuna means they hit or they strike. They strike. So I want to make it a command. I want to say strike. So tadribuna means, tadribuna means all of you strike. I want to tell them all of you strike. I want to make it command. How to do that? So first we have to make it light, right? So it will be tadribu, right? It will be tadribu, the first step. Second step, we have to take the ta out. Then it will be dorib or doribu, but we cannot say the dod with a sukun. So we have to bring an alif. Now, what will be the sound on alif? U or E?
E sound.
E sound, yes, because what is the second last letter here?
Second last letter.
Ra.
Ra, yes, because you can think now, second last letter doesn't look, wa is the last letter, so ba is the second last. No, wa, nun, these are not the letters of the fail. These una, ina, ani, these are extra letters to give you the pronoun. The main word was daraba. Okay, dod, ra, and ba, the main word, the root words. Okay, daraba. Yes, we added a ta because of the pronoun present tense, right? We added a una at the end because of this plural. Okay, these are not the part of the original root word. So that's why don't consider y is the last letter. Here ba is the last letter, so ra is the second last letter, and because ra has kasra e sound, so alif will have a e sound. Okay, so we make it light, tadribu. Then durub, we can say that word, and then we say idribu. Okay, idribu. So this is how you make command. Okay, and this is how you will see a lot of command in the Quran, because when it comes to command, Allah commands us to do a lot of things. Allah tells us not to do a lot of things. Okay, you will find a lot of example. If you want to find one place where you find a lot of forbidding and commanding, read Suratul Isra. Okay, towards the second page. So after ayah number 15 or 16, okay, or maybe 20 after. So read first 2-3 pages of Surah Al-Isra. There's a lot of things. Allah said, don't go close to zina, don't give, a less in your weight, and all these things. A lot of commandments there. This is one of the examples. I mean, of course, in a lot of places are there. Surah Baqarah has a lot of example, but that's one surah that has a lot of example. Yes, Sister Nahid, you had a question, please.
What is the meaning of idrib?
Idrib means strike or look for something. So if I, like your four of you here, I say, okay, strike. Strike means to hit something. So go all of you and hit that animal. Okay, or if I say go look for something. So daraba has different meanings. Okay, daraba also means to give example. Okay, because when Allah gives example is like a striking thing. Okay, so imagine what is striking means that I'm talking to you and all of a sudden I'm giving you an example. So meaning I'm making the thing more stronger. So I'm striking you in the conversation with an example. So daraba has different meaning. The simple meaning is to hit something, okay, or to strike something. or give example, or to look for something also. Okay, so idrib means commanding all of them to do that. Okay.
Yes, but
Okay.
my question is, if it means to strike, but the pronoun is plural. So,
Yeah, so all of you strike. That's what I'm saying. So you have 4 people here, right? I'm telling all of you strike. So it is antum versions. Okay. So when you command something, you can command one person, you can command 2 person, you can command a lot of people. Okay. So that's so when Allah says aqimus salah. Okay. So aqimu, all of us. Allah is telling all of us. Sometimes Allah is telling something only to Prophet Muhammad. It's a command to him only. Okay. Sometimes Allah is saying something to, like we saw the example of Adam and Eve, right? Allah is telling them, do not go close to the thing. Okay. So sometimes, so you have to, by the pronoun, you know, who is this command for? Is it for one person, 2 people, feminine she, both of them she, all of them she, or all of the masculine? Okay, so that's how you know that. Okay, okay. Now there is one exception, or a command with a sound. It's an exception. Okay, what is that? For example, uslimu. So the word aslama became yuslimu. Okay, so aslama is the past tense. Okay, aslama is the past tense. Yuslimu, the ya beginning, is the present tense. Okay, now if I want to make the ta, so this is the hua version, aslama and yuslimu. If I say tuslimu, means and aslama means to submit, to accept Islam. You can say that Islam comes from the same as salam word. Okay, so tuslimu means you submit. You submit. La tuslim, do not submit. La tuslim, do not submit. Okay. Now, to command, it should be islim. If we follow our commanding rule, so I take the tuslim, take the tu ta out. So I have sin, lam, and mim. That's the lightest version. And because lam is the second letter, it has e sound. So alif should also have e sound. Islim. Okay, it should sound Islim. If we follow our rule, just like we did now, it should be Islim. But actually, it's not Islim. It is Aslam. It is Aslam. This is this is wrong. Okay, we have to say Aslam, and then Alif has a Hamza also on top of that. Okay, this is an exception for this family word. What is family word? Not like family means porivar here. It's family means like there's a group of words for different family, and I'm going to show you those toward the end of the course, inshallah. The different words comes from a different group. Okay, there are groups or families of words. Okay, like daraba, nasara, they are from the same group. They sound similar. Okay, for example, allama, okay, and then ta'allama, they're from the same similar group. Okay, so just like that, there are different groups of word, different families, and I'm going to show you that. So for this family, aslama family, you can't say islim, it's aslim, it's aslim. Okay, and also this is the correct version. Also, alif with a hamza on top has full power. Okay, without hamza it is weak alif. Okay, it gets dissolved in pronunciation. So if you see, this is a reading thing, it's not a grammar thing, but if you see a alif with a hamza, right, and on top, so this means if you put a wa before it, still you have to pronounce this alif, because this alif is powerful. You cannot ignore this alif. Okay, so you can't say waslim. Okay, you have to say wa aslim. But if you see an alif without the hamza on the top, then you don't need to pronounce that. It get dissolved in the pronunciation. Okay, this is the tajweed rule. Okay, or you can say the makhraj rule. Okay, for example, waqtarib, you don't say wa aqtarib. So the word was aqtarib before, but when you add a wa before it, waqtarib, the alif got dissolved. But you cannot do waslim. You have to say wa aslim. Wa, you have to say the alif, wa aslim. And for the another word, when alif doesn't have a hamza on the top, then you can ignore that alif and it got removed. The next letter gets pronounced. Okay, so for some of the group of words, this is an exception that the commanding comes with a sound. Okay, usually it's either u or u sound or e sound, but some words like this aslama word, okay, it has to be like this. Okay, it has to be like this. For example, there's another word, very common word in Fatiha, that we always say, which is from the same family, an amta. Okay, an amta. So an ama, Aslama, an'ama. An'amta, like if you say aslamta, aslama means he submits. What is aslamta means? Aslamta. Aslama is the past tense, meaning he submitted. Okay, he submitted. If I say aslamta, what does that mean? Anyone?
Angta.
Yeah, anta. So what does it mean then? Say the word. You submitted.
You
You submitted, right? So an'amta. Okay, an'amta is the word that we say all the time. Okay, we're telling Allah. Okay, siratal lazina an'amta alayhim. Okay, so an'amta means in the past tense. It's not a command. An'amta means that Allah, you bless them. An'ama, like aslama is an'ama. The same group of word. Okay, aslama, an'ama. So an'ama means that he blessed. Okay, an'amta means you blessed upon those people before us, the sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim. Okay, just like that. So that's the same word. So, and if I say bless, the command is not in im, it's anim, like aslim, anim. Okay, so it's the same similar group of word. Okay, and the group of words, as I'm saying, okay, and as I'm saying, because the family words or group of words is not part of this course. That is more like surf for the next course. Okay, but I'm going to, towards the end of the course, in the last lesson, I'm going to show you those ones, and I'm going to give you those ones because it's good to know those things. So if you know one word from that group, every family has every family has a nature of that group that there's some meaning, there's some rules they follow. Okay, and that's how it looks like. Okay, the next thing, let's see how much time we have. Yeah, we can do that. I think we have 10 minutes. The next thing I'm going to show you today, which is similar to the present tense, but there's a little bit of difference. So far, we talked about present tense, normal, light, and lightest. Okay, and with lightest and light and lightest, we know some of the harf that makes them light and lightest. Okay, then we talked about today commanding and forbidding using the second person lightest. Okay, and they're using the letter la before it to forbidding, and we follow the rules for the commanding to take the ta out and put an alif and u and e sound, all this we did. Okay, now there's another version of present tense. Okay, another version. Okay, that version is called heavy and the heaviest version. Okay, so let's look at that. And actually, this is also very common in the Arabic. Okay, how does heavy and heaviest version work actually? Okay, so if you look at this one, yansuru, okay, and yansurani and yansuruna. Okay, this one, the heavy version is actually yansuran. Okay, so there is an extra noon on the heavy version. Now, to make it easier for you, do not worry too much about the heavy version. Okay, concentrate on the heaviest version. Why do I say that? The heavy version are not that common in the Quran. Okay, it is there, but it is not that common. Heaviest is very common in the Quran. What is heaviest mean? Heaviest means that it has an extra noon at the end. Remember how we make things light? Even in our first lesson, when we talked about ism, we took the noon out. Even in the present tense, tan surani, okay, or yan surani, we take the noon out. Okay, yan suruna, we take the noon out. So always taking the noon out means making things light, isn't it? So obviously, if you give an extra noon, so it will make things heavy, isn't it? Okay, if you understand my thing. So the word is there, simple word is yansuru. Okay, if you take, and it has the dual version and the plural version. If you take the noon out, it become light. Okay, if you put a sukun, it become lightest. Okay, or a fatha, it becomes light. Okay, but if you add an extra noon to it, it become heavy. Sometimes it become heaviest. Okay, so that's, as I said, don't worry too much about the heavy part of it, because not all version is the heavy part, but the heaviest is the important one. So for example, yansuru means he helps. Yansuranna, not yansurunna, yansuranna. Okay, so the noon has a shadda, so two noons are added. Shadda means what? Shadda means you say the letter twice, right? So it means we added 2 noon sound. So it becomes heaviest. Okay. Yansuranna. Okay. It means he helps. Definitely he helps. Certainly he helps. Okay. So this is nothing but emphasis. As the name of the group says, that heavy and heaviest. Heaviest mean the meaning is heavy. The meaning is more powerful. Okay. That's why it's Yansuranna. Okay. Same that the dual version is Yansuranni, Yansurunna. Okay. And then you can see here, Tansuranna. Okay. And Tansuranni. For Ana version, if you say Ansuru, Ansuran and Ansuranna, Nansuranna. So extra noon or a noon with a double extra noon. So that makes it heaviest. Okay. And as I said, the heavy version is not very common, found in the Quran, but heaviest you find a lot of time in the Quran. So Allah put heaviest version of this one to make, obviously, to give us the idea that it is the meaning is heavy, more profound, more emphatic, more powerful. Okay. And there's no harf for this one. Okay. It's just like this. For example, the very common surah that you always say, one of the example I'm just thinking, alhaakumut takasur hatta zurtumul makabir kalla sawfa ta'lamun summa kalla sawfa ta'lamun kalla law ta'lamuna ilma la tara unnal jahim summa la tara unnaha ayna lakin. So if you look at the fail there, it's all with shadda. So these are heavy version of that, of the same fail. Okay. And the meaning doesn't change, it just brings the more powerful to that one. Okay. So for example, if you look at this one, la nukhrijannakum min ardina aw la tu'uddanna fi millatina. Okay. So la nukhrijannakum. Nukhrijanna means when you say the nu, okay, so obviously it's we. Okay. Nukhrijannakum. So nukhrija means to make someone exit from there. Okay. So nukhrijannakum, all of you. Okay. So certainly, definitely, I will take everybody out of this. I will make sure you're exited from here. Okay. So la nukhrijannakum. Okay. So if you say, we will definitely expel you all from our land, min ardina, or aw la tu udunna. Udunna means or will definitely come back to our religion. Fi millatina, until you come back to our religion. Udunna, and see the word, the udu.
Mm.
You have a question, brother?
Oh, I have question.
Say it again. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Here, La Nukrijanna here known is in a Rafa status, and La Ta'udunna here, Ta is Nasab status. So,
No,
is there
wait,
any
wait. But the
differences?
Rafa Nasab is for ism, not for fail.
Yeah.
Okay. Rafa
Oh,
Nasab
then
Jar is for
why not La Nakrijannakum?
Yes.
I
Okay.
mean,
You tell
why
me,
not
because there's 2 different words. There are some fail that starts with a u sound, right?
U sound? Okay.
Okay. Some them start with ya. Remember, I say
Yeah, sound.
yansuru, or sometimes
Yeah,
yuallimu.
sound.
Okay. So the yakhriju, it should yukhriju. The word
Mm.
yukhriju is the huwa version. The ya has a fatha. That says nukhriju. Ta'adunna is the ta version. So here ta'adunna, okay, ta'udunna, and this is a ya'udu. Ya'udu. The word was ya with a
Yeah.
fatha. So sometimes some of the fail start with a fatha, the first word, meaning first word. When I say first word, means the
Mm.
huwa version. Remember, close your eyes and try to remember the chart. The top right hand side, the huwa version, either start with a ya with a fatha, like yansuru, or ya with a dhamma, like yu'allimu, okay, or yukhriju. Okay.
Yes.
So if it is start with that, everything will have the same one. Okay. So that's why it is different. It's not Rafa Nasab thing. Okay. Now, ta'uddun, that I was trying to say, the word ain, wa, and dua, there's a noon extra here. Okay. This is the same word that we say Eid. The Eid Mubarak that we say, this is the same word, Eid. Eid basically means something that's come back again and again. Yadu, Yahudu, okay? Yahudu or Yahudu, okay? That's why we say Eid Mubarak, but I'm pretty sure, like 99% of Muslim doesn't know what Eid means. We say Eid. We learn when you're young, we say Eid means happy, right? It doesn't mean happy actually. Okay, Eid means something that comes back again and again. Okay, something so. So you see here the word ta'udunna means you will come back to the religion. Okay, so Allah is saying that I'm gonna take you out of the land, expel the land. Okay, this is true in the past. Okay, and then you will definitely come back to our religion. Okay, or either you leave the land or you will come back to our religion. Okay, Allah is telling this to the Quraysh. Okay, that they will be taken out or they will come back to the religion. Okay, and coming back because Eid comes up every year. So the Prophet said, Eid, that is we celebrate 2 Eids, is every year is coming back. Okay, and that's why Juma is called weekly Eid, right? Sometimes in a hadith, Prophet says it's like our weekly Eid. Why? Because Juma comes back again and again. So it's the same word Eid. Okay, the Ain, Wa, and Du. And both of the word you can see, Yakhrijun, Nukhrijanna. So Noon has a Shadda. Yaudunna, Noon has a Shadda. This is a heavy word, heaviest word. Okay, heaviest word, and that's why they have this one. Okay. The next example, La tu nabbi annahum bi amrihim haza. La, and both cases, this la nukhrijana, la, this la is also emphasis. This la is also emphasis. Okay, this is not la for because this is not a ism. It is a fail, right? So la tu nabbi annahum, you will most definitely inform them. Okay, nabba means to inform something. Okay, naba means to inform. That's the word the nabi comes from there. Okay, nabi means the one who informs somebody, giving information. So Allah is saying tu nabbi annahum. Tu nabbi annahum. Tu is the you. So so tu nabbi means you will inform. Tu nabbi anna means you will certainly inform. Tu nabbi annahum means you will certainly inform them. Bi amrihim, with their deed or with whatever the matters they are doing of haza. Okay, bi amrihim haza. Bi amrihim haza. Also, one thing to notice in this ayah, look at the word haza. It is at the end. Why it is at the end? Can anyone remember? We discussed this one. Why the word haza is at the end? Haza is ismul ishara. Haza means this. Anyone remember? When you talked about ismul ishara and mushara nilay, at which situation has? Sorry.
Yes, because after Haza, if we use al, it means pointing.
Yes. If we say haza bil amrihim, okay, hazal amrihim, then it's not gonna be okay because it's mudaf cannot have al. So that's why we put the haza at the end. If you don't remember, go back to that example and you will see that sometimes ismul ishara we have to put them at the end because we cannot bring it because it is pointing to a mudaf and mudaf ilay. Okay, bi amrihim. Okay, amrihim is a mudaf and mudaf ilay. Amr means matter. Okay, like their affairs or matters. Okay, amrihim means their matter. If I say hazal amrihim, then it can, because amri cannot have al because it's a mudaf, right? So if you go and if you listen to the video or the lecture, you will probably remember that. Okay, this one, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ غَافَلًا عَمَّا يَعْمَلُ ظَالِمٌ. Okay, so here again Allah is saying وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ. Okay, banna. Okay, tahsabanna. Don't you dare think that Allah is unaware of the wrongdoers. Okay, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ. Okay, actually it should be, I think there's a printing mistake. It should be tahsabanna Allah, tahsabanna Allahu. Okay, ghafalan amma ya'lamu zalim. Okay, so whatever the wrongdoing people doing. Okay, the last one, fala taghurrannaka fala tagharrannakumul hayatud dunya. Okay, so here there's a la here, and this is the forbidding one actually, but in the forbidding also, all of them actually kind of forbidding. In the top one, la tasabanna also forbidding. Okay, this la is not the la for emphasis. This is forbidding because this looks different than the top two. La nukhrijanna is not the la for forbidding. This la for emphasis. This is a normal la. And if you see this la, the la alif lam or lam alif as we call them, Wala tahsabanna, that is don't, okay, like the forbidding. Fala tagurrannakum, okay. The lowest life should not at all devise you all, okay. So if you look at this one here, the last example, I think with this we can finish, inshallah. Fala tagurrannakum, okay. Tagurrannakum is the she version, here version, okay. And hayatud dunya is our outside doer. Hayatu is our outside doer. That's why we have to use the here version, tagur. Okay, tagur. Okay, and ad-dunya is the mawsuf sifa of haya, because ad-dunya and haya is the mawsuf sifa, the lowest life, or we say hayat ad-dunya. Okay, so and this is the outside, hayatu is the outside doer of the faith. Yes, Sister Nargis, you have a question?
Yes, brother. The first example,
Hmm.
la nukhriju, is this Nansuru version?
Yeah, Nansuru. Yes.
Oh,
Nansuru.
okay, thank
Yes,
you.
yeah. That's why we say we will definitely expel you. See the meaning? We'll definitely expel you. Okay, nakhruju. Okay. So this is, I think this is what is about the heaviest. Okay. So heaviest is, as I said, it's been used a lot of time and a lot of ayah in the Quran. So if you look at them, don't think this is something new. So try to imagine without the heavy noon, without the shadda noon, then you will find the normal fail. Then you will think, oh, okay, it was a normal fail, and Allah added the shadda noon here because to make it heavy. Simple as that. Okay. So for example, the sister said the nukhrija. Okay, nukhrija was normal, but the nukhrijanna is the heaviest one, and kum is the maful here, right? Kum is the maful here. Okay. So one of the way I would like request you to do so, because now alhamdulillah we have covered a lot of lessons, right? So we talked about like ismul ishara, we talked about the outside doer. So each of these example that we have in the slide, okay, you can think of them, everything, each by each. Spend some time, even if you don't have time to go back to the Quran, because you don't know where is the right example. Okay, so these 4 examples here, there's so many things we can find out. We have forbidding here, we have heaviest here, we have b, like for example, min ardina. Okay, min ardina, so it's a harf of jar, min, right? We learned so long ago. Ardina, okay, it's a mudaf and mudafile. Ard means the land, ardina means our land. Aw, you didn't talk about aw means or. Okay, so or, so it's just a harf, it doesn't have any meaning. It's aw. La, again, la taguddunna fi. Fi is again a harf of jar, millatina. Millata means to deen, religion. Millat means to religion. Okay, and again so there's a lot of things from learn from this one. So you need to understand each of these. That okay, yes, I understand. This is why this is what happened. Oh, that's why this is the noon here. Oh, that's why this is the harf of jar here. This is the harf of nasab here. Okay, try to understand them. Then it's a revision for you. So okay. If you don't understand anything here, obviously I'm here. Ask me the question, message me or something, or ask me in the next class. I will try to explain, inshallah. But spend some time with the examples you see here and try to see if you can understand each of the letter, each of the word from here. If you do that, and if you can understand, then you're doing a revision basically. You're going through all the things again. Okay. For example, here, amma. Has anyone remember what amma means? I think I explained this before. This in the middle. I'll show you this.
An
This
plus ma. An plus ma.
Yes, very good. An plus ma. What is an? What is an means?
Upon.
No.
No.
What is an means? Who else can say that?
It means that.
No. An was a harf of jar. What was an means?
Oh,
About. An means about. And what is ma means? One of the meaning. What is ma means? Yeah, whatever. What or whatever. Yes. What or whatever. So amma, you are right. An plus ma is amma. So amma here means whatever, about whatever. So don't you dare think that, what the wrongdoers is doing, whatever they're doing, Allah is unaware of that. Okay. Amma ya'malu zalimuna. And look at this. Ya'malu is a normal. What is the pronoun in ya'malu? First of all, tell me, is ya'malu is a present tense or a past tense?
present tense.
present tense. Which pronoun? Hua, here, whom? Okay, hua, good. Okay, what is az-zalimuna here? Is it a ism, fail, harf?
Ism.
How do you know it's a ism?
It's alif lam.
Alif lam, very good. What status it is in? Rafa, nasab, or jar?
Rafa.
Rafa. Why? If it is Rafa and if it comes after the Hua version, then what it becomes?
Khabar. Sorry, Mubtada.
No. The
Plural
outside
version.
doer. Outside doer.
Outside doer.
So
Yes.
Ya'malu means he does. Ya'malu means he does. Ya'malu zalimuna means zalim people. Plural, una, right?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
So the zalimuna become the outside doer of Ya'malu. And that's why it's Ya'malu, not Ya'maluna, because we can only have Hua or the here version for the outside doer, right? So that's what I'm saying. So sit down, go through this example, break down each word by word, and try to see if you can find all of those things. See, just like I ask you, how do you know it's a Rafa, Nasab, or Jar, or it's a Una, brother? How do you know it's an Ism? Because it's Al. How do you know it's a Hua version? Because Yamalu is a Ya beginning. There's no ending, like no Una, Ani, anything, nothing else. Okay, this is how you learn, and this is going to be a revision from the day. See, look at this. When did we learn about Zalimuna? Like Muslimuna in our second lesson, right? Almost like 6, 7, 8 months ago, right? But we still dealing with that one. This is the way you learn, inshallah, and that will, or you don't have to like go through each page by page to revise everything, because I know you already know, inshallah. You just need some, refreshing of your memory, inshallah. Okay, so with this we'll finish. I think we went through 7 minutes over, inshallah. So hopefully next week in the same time we'll meet. Jazakallahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I'm gonna close the recording now, and then inshallah I'll upload the video very soon, inshallah.